Hi, my name is Shannon Triplett, and I'm the writer-director of Desert Road, which is a little movie about a woman who drives her car, crashes it, and all hell breaks out from there. I do a lot of road trips, and you kind of pass through these rural areas where it's like, who are the people who live out here? And I've always just been fascinated by that. A trip out to the desert. I mean, it's such a great environment for a film. Your imagination just kind of goes wild. Um, and yeah, kind of combining that of like, what would it be like if you were on your own in the desert? I went out there. My boyfriend was running like an 18-mile run, and he kind of like tanked, and I had to go pick him up, and I couldn't find him, and it was like getting darker, and it's just the desert is a place where it can just change on a dime, like just so quick. It's a completely different scenario. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just a fun environment to play with. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I play the woman, and we meet her when she's currently driving back to her parents. She's basically given up on her dream of being a photographer. So she's in a tough mental situation at the moment, deep in self-doubt, and then she crashes her car. And she seeks help, but no matter where she goes or who she talks to, she can't get out. She always comes back to the car crash, and it's just a metaphor, I think, for like self-doubt and, the narratives we tell ourselves, and we get really stuck in them. And she's just in a really difficult time in her life, but she finds hope at the end.
That was a good answer. I'm going to take that for future.
Because that was really
Perfect
good.
answer.
You wrote it. It's all there.
Well, I play the gas station attendant, and I think he's just constantly in like an isolation in the gas station in the middle of nowhere. And in that isolation, his sort of social skills are very underdeveloped and very weak, to say the least. Say the least. And so I think that's why it comes off as off-putting. But I think he's just trying to charm and make her laugh and really, I mean, he has a crush on the woman, but because he's in the desert and by himself, it's it comes off a little strange, to say the least. Yeah.
Oh, well, the script is always the thing, like Will said a long time ago, Shakespeare. And I warmed up to it. I thought it was unique and interesting. I think the desert is a real character in this story. And I got totally lost, like the main character, going out to the location. I left at 8 at night to go work all night long and totally got lost. We were out in the boonies on this thing. But it was beautiful, full moon. And I think there's a lot of redemption in this story and a lot of forgiveness. Those are two things that come up. And it's a psychological thriller. It's a real ride.
Well, one of the instructions I've always given my agent is to not send me horror movies. So they promised me it wasn't a horror movie. And on the first page, it says horror movie. And I called them. I said, dudes, what are you doing? And they said, no, I swear it's not horror. It's not what you think. Please read it. I got to tell you, I read it in one sitting, and this is very unusual for me. Usually I just have to stop and, look at my phone or whatever. I couldn't stop turning the pages. And to me, that was a sign, if I'm that interested that I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, that was good. So, and it's not a horror movie. It's more like, I was describing it as Rod Serling, Twilight Zone. It was that kind of feeling. And I was in. I'm so happy to be part of this movie.
A lot of, like the whole idea of parallel universes. It's people are in for something really unique when they see this story. It's unusual. That's why it's kind of hard for us to talk about it, because it goes beyond words, really.
It's always tricky. I think when you first start writing a script, you have to just write something that like you find interesting. Like if you're trying to predict like, oh, people are going to respond to this or that. So when I first just started writing, I didn't have a genre in mind. And yeah, as Bo was saying, there's so much of a psychological kind of warfare that this woman is going through. And then when it goes into nighttime, it it's so natural to lean into horror. And I also think like this, it's about the woman and the journey she's going through. And yeah, trying to balance that, but not, I don't know, kind of take advantage of the genre tropes without relying on them to tell a good story. So it's tricky. It's tricky is the short answer.